gonna say maybe I had like a small just a small butterfly effect. No, you were the catalyst. You were the reason that your partner, and your partner's best friend all lost your places to live. You kicked your partner's best friend out, ruined their fucking relationship, all so that you could keep your relationship with the person that you cheated on and felt like you could hide to your grave, in your words. By the way, you could have that as a secret.
So my girlfriend insists that it isn't. In that video, I talked about escaping the harsh reality of losing our home by starting a Minecraft world with my girlfriend. What I failed to mention to you all was that all of this, the affair, was the other thing that her and I were trying to dissociate away from thinking about.
Oh, so you made a Minecraft world. No, this is like that. It's that, but like it's like but like I'm not a bad person by any means. I didn't do anything wrong. It's literally taking zero responsibility for literally ruining other people's lives, even if it's momentary. And then after all of this, makes a Minecraft world instead of finding a job to help subsidize that lost money, makes a Minecraft world to like help like distract her girlfriend from the fact that she ruined their living situation.
Overthrowing tyrants, liberation and such?
Yes. Like you did fuck my best friend. Like but like, look, we're playing Minecraft together. It's like so fun. Like, you see, we're fighting the Ender Dragon. We're not gonna have a place to live, but like, look, we're getting all the gear together. We're getting the Eyes of Ender. We look, babe, yeah, but like you fucked my best friend and then were willing to hide it from me. Very clearly and like very sternly willing to hide it. Yeah, but like we could go storm the fortress and go get blaze rods, babe. That's what and it's like, no, you're still a fucking piece of shit towards your partner. Your partner should do literally everything they possibly can to get away from you, and you should be sitting there and like wallow in your fucking sorrow alone for the rest of your days until you decide to change your mind and actually come to some fucking senses. Yeah, you remove the entire betrayal that like taints the entire gesture. Yeah, it's a nice gesture until you taint it all the way through.
This long since my father built her.
Literally putting termites into a tree trunk. Being like,
myself.
well, the tree trunk was just like there in the way, and it was like kind of oldish. Like I'd seen it; it'd been there for like 5 years. So like, I feel like I could do it.
In some small way, I'm sure my girlfriend hated me too, though she would never say it. But the two of us didn't hate Minecraft.
Wait.
The other thing that hurt. In some small way, I'm sure my girlfriend hated me too.
And she should. As she should. Yes. So the sacred... Yes. She literally pissed on the sacred tree trunk. Yes. Oh my god, yes. And then was like, what? I had to pee. It was outside, literally. Oh my god.
She would never say it. But the two of us didn't hate Minecraft.
Oh...
As much as we tried to just forget about it and move on, it wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, because that's like a huge break of trust in a relationship of any kind. Like, massive repeated break of trust, actually, now that I think about it. Like,
Time we moved out, I had internalized that there was only one.
To be honest, your partner should have fucking just moved back to their parents and fucking stopped talking to you altogether.
One way for me to handle this. If I
Fuck your
ever
Minecraft
wanted my
server.
girlfriend to
Fuck
feel
it.
safe and comfortable around me again. I decided
Fuck
that
your
I had
Minecraft
to
server.
commit fully to this. Penance
Jesus
would
Christ.
need to become the focal point of my
What the fuck just happened? Oh, sniper.
I would need to spend months and
Mega
months and
boost
months
sniper,
letting
yeah.
any decent mood I managed to get myself into be instantly shattered by my girlfriend asking me a question
six
about
what?
what happened,
Six
or
pictures? Okay.
reminding me that she thought she'd never be able to trust me again.
Yeah, because she shouldn't. I wonder why. Huh?
I felt like I needed to just swallow my pride and say over and over and over again,
Dude, there's so many things I could say that, like, would probably get me banned.
"You have every right to hate me. You'd be in the right to break up with me. I'm sure."
Okay, by the way, really manipulative framing by this, by the way. Let's, like, really listen to this, because this is... You can't tell me that this isn't manipulative
Over and
phrasing.
over again, "You have every right to hate me. You'd be in the right to break up with me. I'm sure our friends would be okay with you living with them." All while
Yes, and your girlfriend, your partner, should have done every single bit of that. Every single bit.
her leaving me and moving in with those three, particularly Ashley, was my greatest fear. That was something that I genuinely didn't know if I would survive or not.
No, not a single bit.
But in my mind, I had to say things like that to her for practically months, every single day, because, well, it was true. She would be in the right to leave me.
Yeah, very much so, as she should have.
And
I'll
I hated the
reemphasize
idea of
that.
her staying with me just because she had nowhere else to go.
Interesting. Very interesting. See what I've been saying all of yesterday, all of today. You see why I was like, this has to be a deep dive that we do, and the person is dangerous. Dangerous to the people around them. And it literally has nothing to do with them being trans. Their gender identity literally has nothing to do with this. This is literally to the amount and the quality of them as their character, the quality of their character in them as a person, and how they treat other people around them. And remember, you guys remember all of the stream today, I've been like, notice, and even Deadly said it, and a lot of you guys said it too, is that they are trying to normalize their fucked up behavior. Yeah. This is one person that got fucked up and traumatized, and the other person that's taking advantage of that and fucking them up more.
I hated the
I, you know,
with me just because she had nowhere else to go. Therein lies a way of thinking that I didn't realize at the time was the backbone of so much of what I had done wrong.
Yeah. Oh,
I
wow.
disregarded
Wow, you think?
her personal agency. I was convinced that the only reason she would ever decide to stay with me was because I must have manipulated her in some way without realizing it.
Wait, you're telling me that this is not... No. Honey, you're lying to us. You're not being honest with us. You've either never been to therapy, you've never been held accountable properly, which that could be very possible regardless. Like, you know that you know what you're doing. You have to. You've been doing this for years. You have been doing this on your platform for years.
Don't rush it.
We've called it up and down the entire fucking time.
I felt bad for her because she was in love with me, a duplicitous whore. In fact, it was
Wow, an honest statement for once.
a similar removal of agency that kind of led to the affair in the first place. Part of the way...
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry.
In fact, it was a similar removal of agency that kind of led to the affair in the first place.
I swear to God, I'm gonna scream. Like, and not in a good way. I'm gonna have to mute my mic because I'm gonna say some shit. If this person's about to turn it onto their partner.
Part of the way that my girlfriend's brain works is that she has these really huge upswings and downswings where she's...
Oh, yeah, okay. So we're gonna put a lot of this onto your the affair is on because your girlfriend has mood swings.
Incredibly
That's
impressed or incredibly
dude.
optimistic. She would tell you as much herself. They can happen multiple times a day or last months. She was in one of her longest downswings since I've known her when the affair started, and let me tell you what was going through my head at the time. Every day she's just so down and depressed.
Here, let me tell you how I felt so you can feel bad for me so it doesn't seem like I did a bad thing.
And no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get her out of it. I started to feel like our relationship was hopeless. Like, no matter how much I loved her, it was nothing that I said mattered anymore.
Dog, she has depression. You can't just, like, magically pull someone out of depression. It doesn't work like that, dude. If someone's actually clinically depressed, it's like they need medication. They need, like, therapy. You can't just, like, hey, babe, let's play Minecraft. Hey, let's go do this thing. No, that doesn't gonna get someone out of fucking bed if they're, like, legitimately depressed. Yeah, it's not, poof, you're happy. Be happy.
That's why I say that
No more
I never stopped
Sado.
loving her
Boop.
even during the affair. All I wanted was to feel like I could fix her depression, but...
Dude, it's not your job. You just have to help her get fucking... It's weird. Right, so it's her fault that you cheated on her because you couldn't fix her depression. Because you took that on upon yourself.
It felt like nothing I did would ever be able to do that. That all stems from the fact that having genuine respect for someone's agency was such a foreign concept to me back then. And then...
You have no concept of agency, boundaries, healthy relationships, healthy coping mechanisms. Like, do you have any, like, healthy, like, traits? Do you have any healthy, like...
Ashley comes along and she's hanging on my every word. The things I do had a huge impact on how Ashley...
Dude, I hate that I'm saying this. Sounds like a dude that, like, slept with the chick because his girlfriend was on her period. And he's like, well, like, she said she wasn't going to sleep with me on her period. So what was I supposed to do? It's like, no, dude, no. This is why you shouldn't be, like, interacting with people.
And so after I'd practically given up on improving my girlfriend's mood, I started to take comfort in the person who I felt like I could have an impact on. And one thing led to another. There were, of course, other factors.
Dude, like, this is making me depressed. Like, the lack of, like, taking any accountability is genuinely just making me, like, sad. For, like, this other person. That you, like, are treating this person like this. I'm thinking that you're doing it, like, everything is fine and okay.
Like my problematic libido and my whole what they don't know won't hurt them philosophy that I talked about earlier, but feeling like nothing I did could fix the issues we were having was one of the roots of the whole thing. At least, that's how it felt at the time. The thing is, just like how I felt I must have manipulated my girlfriend in some way for her to stay with me, just as I felt she was a victim of her love for me, this was just me removing her agency in a different way. It was stupid and even controlling of me.
I know. But this person is 26. Has like lived like this person. It's not. This isn't like a. I just started dating and like. I'm still like no. This is. Yeah, I. The crazy part is like I didn't feel this way when I was initially like watching like the initial like source stuff. Like
to feel like as her girlfriend, it's my job to cure her depression.
stop. Here it is again. Having these. This is like the fourth time now I can very clearly think of where she has like put these like very high unrealistic expectations on herself and then blaming those people that she had the had the expectations from her as if like they actually legitimately felt this way. And it's like, no, you perceived this. Beam described it really well earlier. Is that like there's like this expectations put on like the fans that like you know, like they can fix the people. They can, you know, like like talking about their experience as a trans person is like helped all these people. Yeah, this is all you are putting this on yourself. Like, guess what? Unfortunately, you might be considered a little bit of an asshole in the process, but like, guess what? Worry about your fucking self. Worry about you being a shitty person right now. Manipulating people. Worry about you, boo-boo. You do you. Let other people do them for a bit. Please, leave people alone.
Like, anytime she's in a bad mood, it's my job to fix it. I can.
The worst part is, she doesn't. We're not even at the current fucking mark yet.
There for her, but I can't control her emotions, and I shouldn't try to. That is controlling and manipulative.
Wow, you know, but you can't figure out the rest of that fucking equation?
Well, at the time, I thought that trying to control her emotions and talk her out of being depressed was more important than just being...
Dude, I said I was going to smoke, so I didn't stress smoke. I just want to stress smoke more. I'm smoking more.
there for her.
Holy fuck,
In
man.
practical terms, I thought I could just buy her enough treats and gifts and explain to her in clear terms why everything was going to be okay and that she...
So you could like, you could gift bomb it and, oh man, dude, this is actual abuse. This is abuse. This is abuse. Trying to buy the person's love back. Like, I may be very uncomfortable coming to that realization.
She would just snap out of depression. And I thought that trying to do that would be the affirmative action that a good girlfriend would take, when really all a good girlfriend would do in that situation was hug her and tell her that she'd always be there for her. That was one of the fallacies that led to the affair, and now, months later, I was making the same mistake again, feeling like...
Oh good, you recognize that you were the one making the mistake.
Thinking of her as a victim of her love for me. Like, staying with me wasn't even a decision that she chose to make. Well, on one particularly bad night, I went to talk to an adult who's always been a super prominent figure in my life, and I told them about everything. That night, and I may have misunderstood him, but that night he seemed to imply that he had cheated on his wife back when I was a kid. Instantly, I could pinpoint when this must have happened. He had work that took him far enough away that he had to get a hotel every weekend for a little bit, and he had run into a lot of money, so he was just showering his entire family in gifts every single time.
Now we see where she gets it.
Time he got home from these weekend trips. If I understood right, and he did in fact have an affair, then that has to be when it happened. They even took a great big trip to Amsterdam shortly after. The reason that I bring it up is because I have always considered the wife in that marriage to be a
Yeah, you're right.
very repressed woman, and the husband to be a very pussy-whipped man. No matter how unreasonable she was being, he would always defend her, no matter how hard he tries to do these great big gestures for their anniversaries or for Valentine's Day or whatever. She would always be passive-aggressive about it. I never understood what the problem was. Maybe she was just the worst. To be honest, that was always my assumption of her, but learning that...
Right, the man cheats and she's the worst. Yeah, nope, that makes sense. Yeah, no, fuck off.
He had an affair.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Suddenly it all made sense. He got caught, or broke down and told her like I did, and 18 years later he was still removing her agency and her decision to stay with him. He probably felt like their kids were stopping her from leaving him. He probably still feels that way now. Well, as it turns out, 18 years of self-flagellation didn't get her to forgive him, and it didn't get her to forget.
Yeah, because, like, you do that, and it breaks the trust in a relationship. And, like, for most people, well, I'm going to be 100% real. Most people, it's like almost impossible. Because okay, let's be honest here. When we look at cheating, the reason it's so damning for people is because when we get into relationships with people for long periods of time, especially like the longer period of time you're in, you feel like you understand someone a lot, you know, which makes sense. And then when someone goes and cheats, what that is they're basically telling you, oh no, you were wrong the whole time. And like, so you're not only breaking that trust, you're like really fracturing the way that your partner perceives you. Because most partners, by default at least, don't assume that they're getting cheated on, right? So like that's why like people get so like hurt and heartbroken and like fucked up over getting cheated on, is because it's like this very like it rocks how we perceive people, because it breaks that trust of like people and like people being upfront with us. I'm gonna bring logic into it, because like there has to be some logic behind it, because we understand the emotional aspect. Like that's what that breaking what that breaking that trust is like you're trusting that person is not going to cheat on you, you know, it is going to be faithful. So of course that betrayal is going to like hurt. It's going to be the emotional hurt. But like we also have like, it fucks even a little bit. It fucks with the way that we perceive relationships too, even a little bit. It's like, think about how many times someone gets cheated on, and that dictates how they interact within relationships going forward. Like, and how much work that takes to like unbreak and unlearn the like defense mechanisms you put into place naturally in your brain to like not get cheated on again, right? Because that's what that feels like. You feel like you're gonna get cheated on again. Like that's why like cheating and like hiding it is like so much worse than just being upfront with wanting to say that you're attracted to somebody. Like that's why like being like, oh, that person's attractive, I'd fuck them, or like even like it's a weird comment, but like even something as weird as that is not nearly as bad as oh yeah, I fucked somebody and like I now want to tell you. Keep in mind, when was the Minecraft video posted? Actually, no. So the Disco Elysium is like where that kind of took place. So there was a year there was a year that this person literally sat and was doing, it was like sat with this on their brain, that they were cheating on their spouse. That's insane.
God, even if she did decide to stay with me for that long, 18 years,
I gotta load another bowl.
our relationship turning out like theirs became just my new biggest fear. I spent a lot of time in my life watching him try so hard to make her happy, all while never being supportive enough when she was sad. I saw so many times how she would treat him like shit, and he would let it happen because he thought that he lost the right to ever defend himself to her.
Do you know why you were so scared about that? You know why that was a fear? And you know why that becomes a fear for most people? It's because by the time that they realize the consequences that could come and the weight that their decision has of cheating on their partner, it's too late. They've already done it. They've tried to hide it. Like, they're already too into it.
Again,
I'll let you go.
Cheated. One thing was clear. These two never really talked about it. The truth got out, and I guess they just did their best to bury it, probably for the sake of their kids. And to this day, 18 years later, it's never been resolved, and you can see that pain in every single interaction that they have.
I also think that might be a little bit of projecting.
Ashley was really conflicted. On one hand, she was dead set on keeping the rest of our secrets. After all, she'd get in trouble for it too, but on the other hand, she really hated lying to my girlfriend, and she was really hurt by me cutting her out of my life, and just furious with me to boot.
So so you cut her out to hide your cheating. Got it. You were okay. I think things are becoming a little bit more clear about how their partner found out that Penelope was cheating on them.
Whatever it was that pushed her over the edge, one night she broke down and told my girlfriend the rest of the truth.
Oh.
All the things that I was too much of a coward to tell my girlfriend when I initially told her that there was an affair were out there now.
Oh, so you told her, but you withheld like most of like what was impactful of that. Got you. So you were like, even when you were like being honest with your partner, you were still being deceptive and withholding and obfuscating. Got it. Yeah. So you should not be trusted at all.
Pain
At
and
all.
distrust in me had been completely reset. She found out that I'd still been lying to her, and like that old man I was talking about a minute ago, all of that self-flagellation I had done, all of that penance, was for naught. What little progress her and I had made was all erased. The time for self-flagellation was over between me and my girlfriend. It was time to really talk about this. Even though the whole truth was out there now, and I was relieved to know that I didn't have to keep any secrets from her anymore, if we didn't have an open conversation about how and why all of these things happened, we would end up just like that old dysfunctional couple that I was so afraid of becoming. So, to try and make things better, I wound up creating a whole document.
Notice all of these things are done post getting caught. Like, I can't emphasize that enough. Right? This is like, oh, well, like, backs against the wall. Okay, well, here. Okay, so this is actually what happened. And it's like, this is like, it's super telling. It's extremely telling, like, the kind of character this person has.
I laid out the exact timeline of everything that happened. I told her exactly why.
That, like, push comes to shove, you only tell like a quarter truth, just enough to like relieve the pressure that's on you, and then when like you're pushed up against a wall, you're like, okay, you go to like maybe closer to a half, and then like you don't have a choice because the person you were cheating with is literally exposing you. Because that's her fucking best friend, retard. What'd you think was gonna happen?
Why everything happened.
You think that she was gonna sit there forever and just like hold that secret like you were more than willing to do? No, sorry. Some people like us have fucking morals.
At least to the best of my ability, and what was going through my head at the time. I didn't waste time punctuating my explanations with "I'm sorry's" or "I hate myself" or "you should leave me's." To be honest, at this point, all of that stuff would have just been patronizing.
And manipulative. Extremely manipulative.
The time for apologizing was just long